I wanted to share a quick video about how to retrofit the old fluorescent light in this Hampton Bay ceiling fan. Now, this ceiling fan is probably 10 to 15 years old. It has plastic blades. It's about 50 inches maybe in diameter. It's a variable speed fan and also a dimmable fluorescent light bulb fan. And the issue I have is that the ballast went bad in this unit, and I'm unable to find a replacement ballast for it online anywhere that is dimmable. So I converted it to an LED bulb using bulbs.com LED conversion kit. And while it did require a little bit of drilling and a little bit of wiring, it works like a champ, and it is dimmable, and it's much brighter than the original fluorescent bulb that it replaced. So let me show you what it looks like, and then I have individual pictures showing a little more detail about what I did. This is the bulb and ballast that came out of it, and after replacing the bulb, it didn't work any longer. So the ballast itself is definitely the problem. I do have a second light in the same room, same style, and the ballast is definitely proved defective. So the kit that I used is called Overdrive Multi-Purpose LED Retrofit Kit. And as you can see, it is supposed to be plug and play. It's not quite plug and play, but it's pretty easy for pretty much anybody to do if you have any DIY skills at all. The features are pretty strong on it. Has multiple ways of mounting it. It comes with 2 screws, 2 washers, and 2 springs, and a couple wire nuts. And the brightness is 1500 lumens, and it is dimmable, which is really what my main concern was. And it has an energy usage of 19 watts and an expected life of 50,000 hours. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, the device is very compact, looks very well made, and you can see which features this particular kit has. There is a kit that has magnets to mount the unit, which I kind of wish I would have done. It would have saved drilling. So if you decide to go this route, you may want to consider adding the magnet kit or buying the one with the magnets instead of just the screws. There's the information about the individual device. Sorry for the shakiness, but that's doing this from my cell phone, and you can freeze the video and watch whatever you need to see about it. And basically it can be used in any kind of a light. It doesn't have to be a ceiling fan per se. It can go into a light that has the center post, like the ceiling lights with the center rod in them. And here's basically all you need to do to install it. So this is instructions for a center post connection, and you basically remove all of the unneeded things and install this in place of it. So in my light, I basically removed everything that was in the light cavity and installed this in place of it, and connected the 2 wires from the kit to the existing 2 wires in the lamp or in the ceiling fan, and make sure you put white to white, and in my case I had a blue wire as the hot wire, so you tie the blue wire to the black wire on the kit, and that way you have the AC polarity correct. Now, in order to get the globe off of this light, basically looking at it from the bottom, you want to turn it counterclockwise about a third of a turn. You can see there's little nubs here. Every third of the fan, there's one up in here somewhere, right here as well. And they lay in a glass channel on the fan itself. On this particular light, I opted to use some mounting holes that are up under here and around this side. So these are the original mounting holes that held this bezel part to the fan assembly. And in order to get those screwed back in, I had to notch out this heatsink plate a little bit with a pair of pliers, which was not difficult to do. And then I bent them down so that I could get a screwdriver back in here to these screws to tighten them back down. That holds this whole assembly in place. You can see there's actually two screws. One here, it's a brass nut, another one on the other side, right here. And so those are really what's holding it in place. Behind them are a spring and a long screw that goes right into this bottom plate. Now the holes that I took the old ballast out of almost fit, but they were off by about a 1/16 of an inch. So rather than bore them all out and kind of make a mess out of it, I decided to just drill two new holes, 90 degrees from the old ones, and use those. So you'll find that the assembly flexes this way, but not this way, because there's a screw right here and a screw right here. So basically they're spring loaded, and I have a gap up top, and I laid all the wiring above the assembly and then just ran the two wires through the top into the cavity up there with a couple of splices to the blue wire and the white wire. And this thing works great. It is dimmable, and in addition to that, it's also color selectable. Let me spin around here a little bit so you can see. Whoop, probably easier this way. There's a switch here that'll allow you to select 3000, 4000, or 5000 Kelvin. And in the center position, every LED lights. In the left position, only every other one lights, because it's a oranger light. And in the right position, every other one lights because it's a more white light. But in the center position at 4000 degrees Kelvin, all of the LEDs light, and it gives you a really, really nice bright light to fill the room. Much better than the old 30-watt fluorescent tube that was in here. I did take the brackets out that were holding the tube in the light, and that gave me more working room as well. So overall, I'm super pleased with this. It has worked out like a champ. Like I said, if you didn't want to drill, you could buy this same kit, but it has screws with magnets on the top. And you would just basically take out all your old hardware, pull this out, connect the two wires, and then just stick it right up in there. It'll magnetically hold itself to this base, and it's a steel base, and it'll work like a champ. So I hope this helps somebody, and let me turn it on so you can see what it looks like. Okay, this uses this type of a remote, and it has the fan speed and the light speed, so we can turn the light on 100%. Whew, Man, that baby's bright. Wow. And then, I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but we can dim the light down. Let's see if I can get this to show us the remote and the light brightness at the same time. We'll dim the light down. There you can see it's getting dimmer, all the way down to 20%. And then once we reach 20%, we go back up again to 100%. And then, of course, you can turn it on and off. And yeah, it works like a champ. I'm just super pleased with it. And hopefully it will work for other folks that want to retrofit this this fan. So let me give you a shot with the globe on. All right, there's a shot of the light with the globe turned on in place, and that's at 20% brightness. So let me crank it up to 100% for you. Again, my camera's probably not going to reflect this brightness correctly because of the automatic adjustments that it has, but we'll crank her up here. So now we're up to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% brightness. And it works like a champ. So hopefully this will help somebody that's looking to retrofit this old fan. It's an old Hampton Bay ceiling fan. They work like a champ. Great for family rooms and other areas. And hopefully this little retrofit will work for you as well. Okay, have fun.